I was 5 when I started playing basketball in kindergarten. It's just always been there for me. Anything that's gone wrong, I've always just gone, shot baskets, makes me feel good. And the level of competition and camaraderie in a team sport like that, you just can't match it anywhere else. It's the best feeling in the world.
That's the first step to living heads up, is accepting who you are as a being. If you're different than others, there's a reason why you're different.
Everything I try to do with a positive attitude because there's no reason to be down on anything.
If something looks like it's going to be interesting or fun or a challenge that you can attempt, why not? Go for it.
I was playing a tournament in Anaheim and it started to hurt, so I just iced it and I was like, wow, these are some bad shin splints. And then I went and I played in Vegas and I could not walk. Coming like game 3, day 3, I was like trying to foam roll it and like it just didn't feel right, and I was sprayed so much icy hot on it that my leg got all red and started getting a giant rash on it, and took 4 Advils before every game. I mean, it hurt so bad. I couldn't even warm up. And then I went to the doctors and they told me that I had a fracture. So I was like, okay, that's fine. I'll take 4 weeks off, come back, get another x-ray. So I got another x-ray and it still was fractured, and they're like, we should get an MRI to see what's going on because it should have healed by now. So I went and got an MRI, and they were looking, and the guy was like, hey, I think there's something on your leg, and we should probably take a biopsy of it to see what it is. And they're like, most of the time it's benign, but we should definitely see what's going on. So one day I went in and I got the biopsy, and they called me in pretty early, so I knew something was probably, somewhat wrong. But going into it, I felt pretty good. I was like, okay, it's gonna be benign, everything's gonna be fine. And went in, they told me that I had osteosarcoma, bone cancer on my left fibula. Later we found out that I had 2 mets in my right lung.
I remember I got the phone call and he said, I have some hard news, and obviously he told me, and I remember dropping to my knees and I was inconsolable. The first thought I had was, why him? This is the least deserving person of this ever. He understood the battle that was up front, but he never let that get to him. He never showed signs of negativity. He never once thought it was gonna beat him. He was just, this is the hand I was dealt and I'm gonna beat it, and that's that. Losing was not an option. It wasn't just I'm gonna fight, it was I'm going to win.
When I found out, I was like upset, but then I came to realization, I'm like, it's Nick Herrmann. Like, he's the toughest kid I know, biggest heart I know, most driven kid I know, which I'm sure everyone said, but it's true. Like, there's nothing he can't do.
Before the surgery, actually, I never really told anybody this, but I went up to UCLA to go meet some lady, and she was gonna tell me about how the surgery would go, and she goes, all right, let's put all this aside, and she stands right in front of me and she grabs my shoulders and she goes, you're never gonna play basketball again. And I was like, there's got to be some sort of chance. And she was like, no, there's really no chance. It's all out of the question. So just don't let this change you. And I was like, I'm gonna play basketball. So I don't want to hear that from you. Thank you. And ended up having a surgery with somebody else, and now I'm playing basketball again. So
Nick is a hard-driven kid. I think it just hits everybody that here's a kid who really has a passion. And he's being held back from doing it. I'm sure that he had down days, but he never showed it to us. Never. He never wavered on his positive outlook, his hard work. To see him recover as quickly as he has is again amazing to me. Yeah, he's a leader. We need leaders.
I had so much support. It was you can't frown when you have that much support. The first day I got maybe 3,000 text messages. Like, I'm not lying. I had to put my phone away. I gave my phone to Griffin. I said, you're my agent for the night, and I'm gonna go get ice cream, and you can take care of everything. He was picking up phone calls for like 2 hours, sending texts, tweets, everything. My phone was, it actually turned off at one point because I couldn't. And so all that support just made me so happy, and I didn't know it was gonna be that overwhelming. I didn't know it was gonna help me as much as it did, because it really did help. And all that support puts a smile on your face. And the whole basketball community, my coaches, my family, everybody was super nice to me, and it just always made you feel good. I don't remember one day I really felt down about anything. And the positive attitude really has helped. The first day I was in there, they're like, the kids that do the best are the kids that have the most positive attitude like you. And I was like, that's what I'm gonna do. So there was this thing where you had methotrexate counts. So you have to meet the counts in order to leave. So obviously I was gonna leave the moment I was allowed to leave. So I would chug 8 waters a day, big smart waters a day. And I'd say, all right, we're walking to the cafeteria. And we walk to the cafeteria, and I'm like, if you can like sweat out the chemo, like, does that work? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, okay. So I just ran sprints in the hallway the whole entire way. And every single time I would be 0.01 short, almost every single time, but it was worth the shot. A few times I got out early.
He is one of the hardest working kids I've ever worked with. He's very mature for his age at this point. I have a lot of respect for how he's handled this whole situation. The characteristics that really stood out to me was really his tenacity, the grit and the mental toughness and the resilience, you know, because there were bad days. He had a lot of bad days. He goes, you know what, I don't feel well. I go, you know, that's okay, it's part of this. We knew this was part of the plan. It's a really an amazing thing to see where he's come, and I'm not surprised whatsoever.
And when I left, probably shot like 2 times a day, still worked out with my grandpa. I would have to shoot for about a minute as hard as I could, and then I'd have to lay down on the ground for 3 minutes because I get super tired. Then I go in the bushes and throw up, and I come back and just keep shooting. I do physical therapy with this lady named Kristen Ernest at Select Therapy, and she's been the best thing for me. She just, every time I'm there for like 4 to 5 hours, and she just pushes me as hard as I can. I just tell her, I want more, I want more, I want more. And I don't think my foot would even be able to lift up if I was without her. And she knows her stuff, and she just puts me through the workouts, and it's kind of crazy seeing my foot wake up. I had to wear a brace, and my foot would just drag, and now, you know, I can lace my shoes up super tight and keep it up, so it feels super good to be playing again. I never really had doubts, but going through the process, it would be like maybe once a week where there's some days I'm like, I just don't have it today, and it's just so, it hurts so bad working out in the beginning, and I just, some days you're just like, dang, like I can't have it, but then the next day you do have it, and I just know not to get too high, not too low. That's what all the coaches tell me.
That kind of attitude is infectious. You play hard, you work hard, you bring everybody else along with you, and he's been able to do that. And if he didn't deserve to start, he wouldn't be starting. And that's nothing I gave him. I mean, that's something he earned.
No matter what anybody says, no matter what your case is, no matter what your issue is, always look at the situation positively, because you know, no matter what, there's nothing that's that bad that can take a smile off your face, and you can always, you know, achieve anything and set goals for yourself. The main thing that, you know, got me through everything was I set goals for myself, and when you have goals, it motivates you and inspires you to chase after those goals, and it helps you get up every morning, and it really makes you just want to work hard and achieve those goals. And when you have a challenge like that, I mean, it's really fun getting after it. I want to just keep getting better and better. I want to win a CIF title, and I want to play Division I basketball, and that's always been my goal, and I don't think anything can stop me from that. Everything I try to do with a positive attitude, because there's no reason to be a victim in anything. There's no reason to be down on anything. So I just try to be positive and keep a smile on my face and keep everybody else happy. I mean, everybody should be happy. I don't see why anybody shouldn't be.